Say hi to the media. Say hi to the media. Hi, media. Hi, media. I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you know who I am. Not, because you could probably care less about me. Never mind. Actually, I should say this much. The media doesn't care about you. That's right. They don't care about you at all. They care less about the little guy, and anybody who's libertarian for that matter. If anything, they would, they care less about you. And God forbid if you were a Democrat or a Republican and a big shot, and you showed up in town, the whole press would be there like snowflakes in the summertime. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. My name's Michael J. Long, and please welcome. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. So, anyways, the media, right? They sit there and they lie in front of your face. They tell you you're no good. They basically pretty much tell you that by ignoring it, or by telling you you're throwing away your vote, and you're going to throw away your vote so that the Democrat or the Republican gets it, or whatever, some stupid crap like I don't even know how that works, How do you throw away your vote? You just take the voting ballot and just toss it in the garbage can? You just vote and no voter does that, right? But I bet you the people who count the votes do. They do it all the time, folks. Or maybe not all the time, but whatever votes they don't like, what's to say that they don't do that, right? The Board of Elections, all that. The media doesn't cover that. The media, whenever the Libertarian Party holds events or whenever smaller groups get together to protest, like a ban on, let's in this case, vaping, when is the last time, if it's a libertarian event or what have you, when's the last time you ever got the media involved? Not unless the bottom line is maybe it's possible that you get the press every once in a while, and then the next day you get no press. But most times we don't get no media. If we're running on behalf of the Libertarian Party for Congress, for House of Representatives, whatever political position, whatever level of government that you're running for, 9 out of 10 times they pretty much don't even cover you unless you're a big shot Democrat or Republican. Well, I should say if you're a Republican or a Democrat, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get covered from the press. This is the same media that tells you that you're wasting your vote, so give up and vote for a Democrat or a Republican. The same media that tells you that, that gives news stories about the celebrities on a constant basis. Now, I'm sure we don't mind hearing about celebrities every once in a while, but they shove it down your throat every single day. They shove whatever they want that they want you to hear pretty much down your throat. And they shove it down your throat every single day. If you're not hearing about Prince Harry, it's some other big shot, or it's some other Democrat, or it's some other Republican down the street. I'll give you an example. Because they care less if it's a nobody, right? And as long as that person's running on behalf of the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, what have you. Because nobody even knew who Sarah Palin was, right? She was basically what? The governor of Alaska, and then John McCain picked her as a running mate in 2008 or something like that. And all of a sudden, everybody cared about her because the press covered her, even though she started out as a nobody. Nobody even knew who she was, But God forbid you run a libertarian, and nobody's ever going to know who he or she is unless we become our own media and fight tooth and nail for that. Well, that's how the media is, folks. And again, I'm going to make this exclusively about the media because the media is biased. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, Fox News, America One, whatever. Whatever news outlets that are out there. There's 100 million conservative news media outlets for every Democratic liberal news media outlets that are available that are shoved down people's throats like no tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, and that's basically what the media is, whether it's news publications, internet article publications, or uh, TV stations that give you the news on the radio waves or through the radio, through TV, or whatever. But nobody, if you notice, nobody else is allowed access to cable TV. And why is that? Because the government regulates it. The government regulates it to such an extent that they shove it down. They give pretty much licenses to all the corporations that apply for it, okay? Or whatever corporate media, and then they have, and basically the people who own the government is the Democrats and the Republicans, because that's who's elected and that's who's appointed. So they own the FCC, who then appoints licenses for public broadcasting. We're talking about for TV and for radio, right? And and that's only given to MSNBC and CNN and Fox News and One America News and everybody else under the sun, and mainly MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, NBC, ABC, whatever it is, because they're all in bed with the Democratic and Republican parties, and the Democratic and Republican parties is what gives them the licenses and registration permits to actually, downgrade everybody else, whether it be the Constitution Party or the Libertarian Party. In most cases, it's any political third party, that because they want to retain their duopolistic control over the government. So it's win-win for them, but a loss for us and anybody who believes in freedom, for that matter. Because that's as I said before, the Libertarian Party is all about freedom, but as long as you have Democrats and Republicans controlling the government on a national level, things aren't going to go everybody's way, and things aren't probably going to go your way if you support freedom on personal and economic matters, because the press doesn't care about that. They care about whatever their agenda happens to be, and that's what they shove down your throat. So they control all the information on the TV and radio. So for most people, and that's starting to change because of the wake of the internet, we can now have television on the internet and YouTube channels and all that. So we have a way around that. But for people who still listen to TV and radio, that's going to be pretty much their worldviews, whatever these media outlets want them to know about, or whatever they don't want them to know about, which they won't cover. So this is something that you need to be mindful of in terms of engaging political conversation and dialogue, because media, and I really hate to say it because it shouldn't be like this, but journalism and media has become, in a greater sense, the biggest threat to our freedoms. And yet, when the Constitution was written and our founders created the Declaration of Independence, it was in their statements and in their worldview that the press and journalism was the biggest threat towards government expansion. Well, guess what, folks? They're not the safeguards of your civil liberties anymore. They have an agenda, and that agenda is all they care about. And that agenda is basically authoritarianism. So all your mainline journalists, they're not journalists in the sense that, in the way that we understand journalism to be. What they are tyrants. Little miniature tyrants that basically want to shove their agenda down people's throats. And because they have deep pockets with the government, and they have, They're in bed with the government. Think about it. Everybody that's elected to Congress and the House of Representatives and the Senate are all Democrats and Republicans. How many libertarians do you? You're lucky you get one or two independents. But how many libertarians do you see in Congress? Zero. None. How many libertarians have we had in the White House since the formation of the Libertarian Party in 1971? None. Zero. And we still have yet to have a libertarian president in the White House. And until that happens, you can rest assured that all your Supreme Court justices are going to be Democrats and Republicans to the core, and everybody appointed in any given administration is going to be a Democrat or a Republican, even if it's the FCC, folks. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission. So as long as they get a license and as long as government controls TV and radio, I can guarantee you, as long as there's a connection between that and the press, I can guarantee you the press is going to be a threat to your civil liberties. And I'm not saying to do anything stupid, but just to acknowledge that they're not to be trusted in the media. So whenever you hear Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or One American News tell you Trump's good, Trump's bad, or whatever, know that they're not to be trusted. And especially if they're going to tell you that you either should vote for a Democrat or a Republican. That is not good news. And especially when they tell you that you're throwing away your vote, or B, that you are deciphering the vote from the Democrats and the Republicans to win, or vice versa. Or that you're deciphering the vote from the Democrats or the Republicans and the Democrats. If you hear any of that type of garbage, know that it's coming from a press that doesn't really care about the people. They don't care about you. They care about the government because the government gives them a license to run their mouths and to be little tyrant pigs. They don't care about the Libertarian Party. They don't care about, and that means they don't care about you whatsoever. Again, I'm Michael J. Long, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.